The top of the wide receiver class is getting all the love, but there is some sneaky good value as you dig down into the depth of the class in the third and fourth rounds. I've identified 4 of my favorite sleeper wide receiver targets at a range of ADPs starting in the third round all the way through the 5th round of your rookie draft. All right, let's start here with somebody who may not be as much of a sleeper name now. I think he's going to go early third round, but I still don't think we're fully in on how good he can be. So we're leading off here with Jalen Royals out of Utah State. A lot of folks, myself included, hope that he would get day 2 draft capital. He doesn't. He falls to day 3, but he gets a really nice landing spot. He goes to the Kansas City offense here, and I think it's a really nice pair for what you can see on his tape. He has a sharp first step. He wins with his release consistently. I like Royals' ability to separate right off the bat from the bottom of the route into the midfield. I think he can win well over the middle of the field. I think he can win well along the boundary. I think Royals speeds up quickly. He accelerates very well moving downfield. I like his hands. He's got reliable hands, and he attacks at the catch point. You're going to pair a speedy, athletic receiver with Andy Reid, with Pat Mahomes, a short-handed guy. And I think there's a real role for him in this offense. You have Rice along the boundary. You have Worthy stretching the field. I think you can let Royals run over the middle of the field, kind of soak up all of that space that's being naturally created in that offense. We saw Kansas City really limited Travis Kelce early last season. I think those targets could go to Jalen Royals instead. I'm not worried about Hollywood Brown. I think those targets could go to Jalen Royals instead. I think he'd catch 69% of his targets. I'm going to go 60 receptions. It's pretty aggressive. We're going to go for 700 yards, which again is aggressive. 4 touchdowns. I think the touchdowns are going to be a little bit lower, right? That's where it balances things out. I think those are going to go to Rice and Worthy more often than they're going to go to Royals. But I think he's a really nice player and a really good bet to make in the early third round of your rookie drafts. We're going to go to the back of the third round, and we're going to go to somebody who did get day 2 draft capital, but isn't getting any love still. And that is Tai Felton, the wide receiver out of Maryland. He goes to Minnesota. Tai Felton was one of my favorite sleepers pre-draft. He remains one of my favorite sleepers. I love his film. It starts there, and then the scheme really helps it as well. And I'm going to explain why. That might not feel like a natural response to Minnesota, but I do think it fits very well. Tai Felton is quicker than he is fast, and folks, he sure is fast. He showed that at the combine. He's got 4.4 speed, and he gets to top speed quickly. He's not just fast. He gets to top speed quickly, and he's very quick in short space. He's quick moving east and west. I like Felton's ability to separate, especially through the bottom of the route tree. Now, I think he can probably separate more, but he was only asked to really work the bottom of the route tree primarily at Maryland, and he was really effective in doing that. Good first step, able to cross over a defensive back, keeps good body positioning. He separates through his routes very well. I like Felton's ability in particular to play in traffic. I think he plays very well over the middle of the field. I mentioned that body positioning. He consistently wins body positioning, despite the fact that he's not a large-framed wide receiver. He's got consistent hands, and he holds on really well through contact. There's plenty of examples of him catching the ball in traffic, catching the ball through contact. He did that very well at Maryland. So here's where it's a scheme fit, right? I know you're thinking, all right, we got Justin Jefferson, that's 150 targets. We got Jordan Addison, that's another 100 targets. You got TJ Hawkinson, all true. You've got to feed all those guys. But those guys are also creating a lot of room underneath. And I think Tai Felton is the guy that can soak that up. Minnesota has been actively looking for that slot receiver, that wide receiver 3 in the offense for a few years now. We've seen that. And I think Tai Felton is the answer to that question. You have J.J. McCarthy, who does have good arm strength and will be looking to push it downfield. But if you give him that check down option, if you give him that underneath option, somebody who's going to be in space, and somebody who I think is going to pair up very well with J.J. McCarthy's timing, then I think you have somebody with a lot more of a floor than you're willing to think. And then you pair that with some good upside. Justin Jefferson misses some time. Jordan Addison misses some time. And all of a sudden, you have some touchdown upside there as well. In terms of his year 1 projection, I think you have somebody who can catch 73% of his targets. So again, good hands underneath, That's a high catch percentage. 53 receptions, 550 yards, a lower ADOT, but 550 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mentioned it, I'm talking about, I think he's going to play closer to the line of scrimmage. He does have downfield vertical ability. He does have that explosiveness. He does have that and show that ability to win in the deep field. I'm just trying to consider him in the context of the Minnesota scheme. And that's what we do at the Rookie Big Board. We consider the context of these rookies. I've studied them. And you'll find, if you want to check out the Rookie Big Board Rookie Guide, Volume 2, it just dropped. You're going to find over 80 different players fully studied, 80 prospect profiles, 110 pages. You can get that along with my rookie rankings, dynasty rankings, Devy rankings, along with full projections for every single rookie and every single NFL player, along with personalized advice in the Rookie Big Board Discord. All of that's available at patreon.com/rookiebigboard. The link to join will be in the episode description, and it does cost just $5. Folks, there is no better way to get ahead of your league mates than joining us over at patreon.com/rookiebigboard. I'll tell you what, I got another good way to get ahead of your league mates. This next sleeper receiver that we have up here, it's Elic Ayomanor. He's going off the board probably in the 4th round of your rookie drafts. I'm going to project early 4th round. And I know this is not where we wanted to be with Ayomanor, right? We've talked about him a lot. He's a prospect that's been on our radar. He had a rookie profile, and he goes day 3, and he goes after Chimere DK, which makes it even harder on day 3. But if you take all of that out and look at the Tennessee offense, you're looking at an offense that I think rightfully is just throwing things at the wall. They're giving Cam Ward a ton of different potential targets, right? And the way that DK is going to win is much, much different than the way Ayomanor is going to win. It's different than the way Calvin Ridley's going to win. It's different than the way Tyler Lockett's going to win, right? And so what it really comes down to, it doesn't matter if somebody was drafted 1 round earlier, right? What's really going to matter is does Ayomanor's play style match up with Cam Ward? And I think there's a real opportunity for that to happen. Ayomanor, he's a clean route runner. I like his sharp slant. I like his convincing curl. Good footwork on both of those routes. He's able to win over the middle of the field. He's able to win along the boundary. Along the boundary, you're going to see him extend a really nice, large catch radius to make some big plays. And when you're Cam Ward with a live arm and you're slinging it around in the way that he does, and I say that in a positive way, having a big body target like Ayomanor, which really is not represented with the rest of the roster, that's going to be pretty valuable to you as a rookie quarterback in particular. I think Ayomanor has good hands. I understand. He gets knocked for his hands. There are some drops. Overall, though, I think he has good hands. And I think he has even better hands when you consider the context of the offense he was playing in. He had to do a lot, folks. He had to do a lot with some really poor quarterback play there in Stanford. He's not set up to win in contested catch situations, but he still did do so more often than not. And for a guy of his size, 6'2", over 200 pounds, he catches the ball very well in stride, and he continues upfield after the catch well. He's got a little bit of shake to his game as well. There's something there after the catch with Ayomanor. And that's how I kind of feel overall. There's something there. There's something there with Ayomanor. I think he could catch 47 balls for 500 yards. I think he could catch 66% of those balls. Again, I think with better quarterback play, that catch rate's going to go up. I'm not worried about it. And then I'll go with a modest 4 touchdowns here with Ayomanor. So nothing wild, but 4 touchdowns is enough to pop, right? It's enough to get it on their radar. And that type of production out of a guy that you're drafting in the 4th round, that's really what we're looking for here. It's a nice late wide receiver play, but I've got one more. It's an even deeper wide receiver play because I know some folks are playing in 16-team leagues. Some folks are playing in for 12-team leagues with more than 4 rounds, with 5 or 6 rounds. Some folks are just playing in a league with 48 picks, but you want to know some of these guys that may be on your waiver wire in the preseason or early on in the NFL season. Here's the name for you, Dante Thornton out of Tennessee. And he goes to the Raiders. And I got to be honest, Thornton was probably the 78th player that I watched in this class. And I'm a Tennessee fan. And I honestly was not that excited going in to watching Deonta Thornton tape. But when I watched his tape, I got really intrigued. I got really excited about the prospect of him. And having watched his tape, it did not shock me he went early round 4. Because when you watch him, you're going to see some really exciting and explosive play in speed in particular for a guy with a 6'5", 205-pound frame. I love his ability to win positioning over the middle of the field. I know what you're saying, Tennessee offense. You could see it at the release point. He crosses defenders up. He's got physical hands. He wins with a good first step. He really can get defensive backs to bite. So he can win space right away, and he can win deeper into his route if he has to. I like his ability to hold on through contact. Plenty of examples of Thornton catching the ball, getting popped, getting led into a defender. He holds on well through contact, and he's pretty physical through his routes. He is not getting bumped off of his routes. Again, 6'5", 205-pound frame. You shouldn't be getting bumped off your routes, but he doesn't. I think he can win well after the catch. I'm not, when I say win well after the catch, I don't want you to think I'm thinking of, a super shake and bake type guy, a Yuki out of your shoes type guy, but he can catch that slant and go, right? He's got a good feel for angles on the field, and he's able to make the most out of all of the opportunities that he does get. Thinking about a projection, and again, a guy that you can take in the 5th round of your rookie drafts, I think he could get 34 receptions this year. And that may not sound super exciting, but he's going to have a high ADOT. I put him in my projections at 16 yards per reception. That could be conservative. I mean, he is a field stretcher type guy. That's going to put him over 500 yards. I think he's going to have some highlight touchdowns this year. At the very least, with Dante Thornton, expect to see a Twitter clip at some point of him, with a real highlight play, and everybody gets excited about him. And even if you have him on your roster for that, and you could flip him for a future 2nd or 3rd, I think that there's value there in looking at Dante Thornton late. I'm going to say something, and it's going to sound a little outlandish, but you have Geno Smith there. You've got Pete Carroll there. I think Dante Thornton, it gives you a little bit of DK Metcalf light. DK Metcalf light, right? Not the same player. I'm not comparing them one-to-one, but you've got a big-bodied, explosive frame. You've got a guy who can stretch the field. Vegas has a lot of different options. They've added a lot of guys this offseason as they kind of work with this new coaching staff. And Dante Thornton could end up just being one of those guys. But watching this tape, seeing the draft capital, seeing the fit, considering Geno Smith, I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think he's a player, again, late in drafts, but he's worth getting excited about, and he's worth having exposure to. I'll tell you what, folks, there's nothing worth getting excited about more than winning your rookie drafts over at the patreon.com/rookiebigboard with the rankings, with the personalized advice in the Rookie Big Board Discord, with the rookie guide that I mentioned earlier, the full seasonal projections, all of that available for just $5 a month. There's no better way, folks. No better way to win your rookie drafts. The link to join will be in the episode description. And believe it or not, we got a whole lot more rookie content coming your way. Make sure you like, make sure you're subscribed, and we're going to be back real soon with some more rookie content.